Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Iti Namine Prema Bhakti Rasanandam Kripa Sindhu Mamaninam Pragyapayantam Vande Sri Bhakti Vedanta Narayanam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So, today we are continuing the series of talks on Sri Brahma Samhita. And we are continuing to talk on the first verse, because this first verse of Sri Brahma Samhita has so much depth of meaning in it. It is all about Krishna Tattva. So sometimes when we hear the word Tattva, we think, oh my God, this is philosophy, it will be a little boring. But no, this is Krishna Tattva. It is the nature of Krishna. What is the nature of Krishna's sweetness? What is the nature of Krishna's Madhurya Lila? What is the nature of Madhurya Ras? These are all things that are contained within the topic of Krishna Tattva. So there was one question from last week which I want to also address, and I will just record an answer now. So there is a question about a verse that was quoted, and Srila Jiva Goswami gave an argument to understand. Krishir bhuvachaka shabdo nashta nirvriti vachaka. This is describing the etymology of the name Krishna, and it is breaking down the name Krishna. Krishna, the name, is not different from Krishna the person. So Nama Chintamani Krishnash Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Puna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bhinatvan Nama Namino. One should understand there is no difference between the name Krishna and the person Krishna. And it is, Nam is Chintamani. So, there was a question about this explanation that has been given by Srila Jiva Goswami. Now, we are still reading through a translation of the commentary, the Tika of Srila Jiva Goswami, which is very dense, it is very condensed. So this, there is the example given, saying that there is bhuvachaka. It is the Krish is giving the existence, and na is giving the nirvriti. So these two statements together indicate Parabrahma Sri Krishna. Now, this is a little hard to understand, and Srila Jiva Goswami has given another example from Sanskrit grammar, saying that there is a word ghata. Ghata means a pot. Pata means cloth. So both the syllables, gha and ta, are needed to say it is a water pot and not a cloth. We cannot just take one of the syllables. So krish and na, together, tayor aikyam, they together form the one. So he is giving simply the etymology of Krishna. And there is some explanation that has been given, because that is the nature of, yes, this verse from Gautamiya Tantra. Krishi shabdasya sattarto naschananda swarupaka sukarupo bhavedatma bhavananda mayastataha. So Krishi is existence or truth, and na is the embodiment of natural bliss. And so the combined meaning is one whose existence is characterized by bliss, or one who attracts all and bestows bliss upon them. So we can take this is a more expanded understanding of the name Krishna as all attractive. Okay, so I hope that answers that particular question. Anyway, let us continue on. So where we left off, we were talking about Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. So we got as far as Ishvara Parama Krishna, basically. And now we are talking about Satchidananda Vigraha. So Satchidananda Vigraha specifically means Sri Krishna, whose form is Sat, meaning eternality, Chit, meaning cognizance, and Ananda, meaning supreme bliss. So we have spoken about what is the meaning of Ishvara Parama, the many meanings of Ishvara Parama, and the meaning of Krishna. Now we are talking about Satchidananda Vigraha. So Sat is described that Sri Krishna, Navabraja Jananani Satchidananda Vigraha, Sri Krishna, who is the concentrated form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, increases the Ananda of Sri Nanda Braja and all the residents of Braja. And it is also stated later in Brahmanda Purana, Sattvan Kalva Vicharitvam Jate. Sri Krishna is pure transcendental existence, and his existence can never be inhibited. So Sri Krishna has the transcendental existence. He is the concentrated form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Satchit and Ananda are also part of the nature of the Jivatma, but in a tiny quantity, very tiny. And that is why it is part of the nature of the Jiva to desire bliss. We desire love, we desire happiness, we desire unadulterated bliss. That is the meaning of Satchidananda. But in Sri Krishna is the source of Satchidananda. And Sri Krishna is also the Adhishtatri Devata of Samvit Shakti, the knowledge potency. Baladev Prabhu is the Adhishtatri Devata, or the controlling deity of Chit Shakti, the existence potency. And so from Chit Shakti, all of the bodies of Brajavasis and the Dham itself are manifest. So once we get through this first verse of Sri Brahma Samhita, then the second verse will describe the nature of the Dham, Sri Vrindavan Dham. So, this is all describing that there is the nature of this world. This world has the nature of asat. Mrityu vyada bhita padayan sarvaloka nirbhayam nadya gachat. Everyone in this world is terrified of the snake of death. Every single thing. People are afraid. People will hear something on the news. Oh, this person has been killed. And they become fearful. Oh my God, what will happen? What if this happens to me? What if this happens to my children? What if this happens to someone that I am close to, I have affection for? And so we are always suffering from fear. Bhayam dvati adabinivevashata syad ishad apetasya viparyago smriti. Because we have turned away from Bhagavan. We have turned away from the source of all bliss. But if we associate it with liberated souls, if we associate with sadhus, then we will get shelter and we will attain fearlessness. So there is also the statement that I am beyond this yasmat ksharamati-toham aksharadapichottama atosmi loke vedecha pratita purushottamaha. I am beyond the manifest nature. I am superior to the unmanifest, and that is why I am celebrated throughout the world and in the Vedas as Purushottama. Now this is another very important thing. Krishna is called Purushottama, and he is eternally masculine, Purushotattva. He is not feminine, and he is not neuter or impotent. So when the conception of masculinity is understood, the mistaken conception of Bhagavan being feminine or neuter cannot remain. So this is a very important thing to understand, because nowadays people think of gender as a bodily characteristic. But actually our bodies are constructed by Prakriti, and we, the Atma, actually is part of Shakti, which is feminine in nature. And only because of bodily association we think of ourselves as masculine, feminine, or neuter. In the case, many people are napumsak. They do not associate with masculine, and neither are they fully feminine either. So the concept of Purusha only exists in Sri Krishna. It is not found in anyone else. He is actually the Purush. What is the meaning of Purush? So, it is said that he does not have desires. He is not affected by birth, death, hunger, thirst, old age, and sorrow. He is Parabrahman. He always exists in a form that never deteriorates. And he is the central feature of the solar system, Surya Mandala. And he protects and nourishes the desire-fulfilling cows surrounded by his cowherd boy companions. He also performs his pastimes in the cottages and groves on the banks of the Yamuna, who was the daughter of the sun god Surya, and even death personified is afraid of him. That supreme personality is Sri Govinda. So Sharye, Srila Jiva Goswami is explaining, is referring to the Shari or Yamuna river, because Yamuna is the daughter of Surya Dev. Vasvat Kanya Saika Dhanya Yasya Kule Krishna Kelat. That is the Yamuna river. She is alone. She is very fortunate because on her banks, Sri Krishna has performed his pastimes. That is from a Sanskrit poet, Bhavabhuti. So we discussed the eternal form of Sri Krishna. Now we go on to talking about the Chit Swarup of the form of Sri Krishna. So the Satta, or the existence of Sri Krishna. This is clearly understood. Because think of it this way. We are in this material world, and by nature, nothing in this world is permanent. Everything is temporary. Everything is changeable. Only the Atma is eternal. And the Atma desires love and affection. So think on this. Someone wants to have sense gratification. I want to eat. Well, how much you can eat? You can eat until the stomach is full. And if you continue eating after the stomach is full, you will end up vomiting. It is a very bad thing, and it sounds very horrible, but it is very true. There is a limit how much you can eat. The stomach will stretch, and eventually the body will rebel and say, no more. Ugh! And it will reject everything. We cannot enjoy unlimited sex. We cannot enjoy unlimited drinking and intoxication. Eventually we will overdose and we will die. And this is the problem. But we imagine ourselves to be the Purusha, to be the controller and the enjoyer. So this is not found in Sri Krishna. There is no end to the tasting of bliss of bhakti. So, it is said that Labdhashisham Udagad Brajasundarinam. So the Brajasundaris, the gopis, were dancing with Krishna for an entire night of Brahma. How long is the entire night of Brahma? 4,320,000,000 years. There is no end, because this is the exchange of prem. This is the exchange of love in its purest form. And gopis were embraced by the arms of Sri Krishna. And so they consider themselves most fortunate. But actually, the rasa dance, this is a manifestation of Raseshwari. Rishabhanu Nandini Shri Radha. She is manifesting the rasa dance for the pleasure of Sri Krishna, who is Rasika Shekara. What is the meaning of Rasika Shekara? We sometimes say Sri Krishna is Rasika Shekara, Rasika Shiromani. He is the supreme connoisseur of ras. When we refer to Madhurya ras, Shringara ras, when Krishna is dancing with the gopis in the Padakiya relationship, all of the qualities of other rasas are contained. It is very difficult to understand, because a mundane person will want to understand Padakiya ras as, okay, it's a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. No, it is like the opposite of that. That is the reflection. If there is a very tall building, it is reflected in a pond, the reflection is going down, the building is going up. And so that which is very high in the spiritual world. Madhurya ras, it is reflected in this world as selfish and lowly desire for sensual pleasure in the form of sex enjoyment. So, this is very difficult to understand. Sometimes, Gurudev has explained in terms of Vatsalya ras, how Yashoda Maya wants to give her breast milk to Sri Krishna. And she has unlimited Vatsalya Bhav. Her maternal prem is in liquid form, and she is giving this to Sri Krishna. It is not just ordinary milk. It is liquid Vatsalya prem, the maternal affection, and Sri Krishna has unlimited appetite. There is no limit. And the anand, the bliss that Mother Yashoda is experiencing cannot be described. It cannot be conceived. And even the cowherd boys, Ittam satam brahma sukana bhutya dasyam gatanam padadaivatena mayashratanam nadadarakena sakam vijahrukata punya punja. Oh, what kind of activities have these cowherd boys done that they are playing with the Supreme Brahman Sri Krishna, that person whose service is desired by those who are on the path of Vaidhi Bhakti, that person who is considered an ordinary person by those who have taken shelter of Maya, and those who are transcendentalists. They can only think of him as the Supreme Master. But these cowherd boys are playing with Krishna as he is their dear friend, and they love him so much. And if Krishna will go behind a tree for 1 second, cowherd boys are feeling separation. But all of these qualities of Sakya Vatsalya, they are all present in Madhurya Ras. Therefore, Madhurya Ras is also called Adi Ras. So Sri Krishna is performing his pastimes on the bank of Yamuna river, and now we can talk about Chit Swarup. So, Ekas Tvam Atma Purusha Purana Satya Svayam Jyotirananta Adya. O Bhagavan, you are the only truth because you are the Atma of all Atmas. You are the Paramatma in everyone's heart. You are different from the perceptible world around us, and you are the root cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction of this world. What does it mean, root cause? Root cause means he is the cause of all causes. Okay? Sarva Karana Karanam. So, Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. He, from his expansion, from him comes Baladev Prabhu. From Baladev comes Vasudev Sankarshan Pradyumna Aniruddha. This Mahasankarshan, from Mahasankarshan comes Narayan. From Narayan comes Mula Sankarshan. And from Mula Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu comes Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and then Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. Garbhodakshayi Vishnu enters within each universe. So this is the meaning of Sri Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the root cause, and he is the primeval personality and the supreme personality. So he is supremely pure. He is free from the modes of material nature. This is a very important thing to understand. Think of it this way. We get up. And how do we get up? We have to become free from the grip of tamogun. Tamogun is saying, oh, I can sleep a little bit more. I'm feeling tired. And it is holding us back. It tells us to not get up. It tells us, oh, you can sleep a little bit more. Because sleep actually requires tamogun. We are dependent on the modes of nature. So understand this. You cannot get proper sleep without tamogun. In Ayurveda, it is called Swabhaviki Nidra, Ratri Nidra. Natural night sleep requires the quality of tamogun, which is present in night. We need that for our bodies and minds to be healthy. But then how do we get out? Oh, the tamogun is pulling on us. Everything sattva, rajas, tamas. The rajogun is required to be active, to accomplish things, to do things. And when we can be in Sattva Gun, then the activities of Tamogun, Rajugun are less. But modern society is all about more tamas, more rajas, more intoxication, more passion and desire and frantic desire to achieve things. But in Krishna, there is chit, there is knowledge, awareness, there is no tamas, there is no rajas, there is not even the sattva. It is completely pure existence and it is self-illuminating. So this is also described in Gopal Tapani Upanishad. And how Krishna is able to see, it is not possible for us to see Krishna with these material eyes. Yamevaisha vrindate tena labhyas tasyaisha atma vrindate tanum swam. This is from Katha Upanishad. What is the complete citation? Nayam atma pravachanena labhyo na bahuna shrutena. It is not possible to understand this Supreme Self by being very learned, by hearing from many scriptures and authorities. It is not possible. Only when He manifests Himself in the hearts of those who are surrendered to Him. And then He manifests Himself unto us. And this is another meaning of the Chit Swarup of Sri Krishna. How He manifests, how He will manifest within the heart. So that devotee, Yasya Deve Para Bhaktir Tata Deve Tata Gurau Tasyate Katata Hirta Prakashante Mahatmana. So he is called the form of knowledge. Now we come to the concept of Ananda Swarup. So the meaning of Ananda Swarup is Sarvato Bhavena Nirupadika Parama Premaspada. He is always, in every respect, the supreme abode of Prem, without any material designations. We have some idea of what is love and affection. Oh, my mother loved me so much, and I also love my mother. My parents gave me so much love and affection. Oh, I love my friends. They are so good to me. And I love my partner, my spouse. Oh, I would like to be with someone that I will love and they will love me back. The problem is that our love in this material world is always conditional. It is not a true love, and it also is tainted by the modes of material nature. But Sri Krishna is the abode of that Prem which is completely illuminated. So it has the qualities of Sat and Chit also. So after Maharaj Parikshit heard Brahmaji's prayers, then he inquired from Shukadev Goswami, Brahman Parod Bhave Krishna, how is it that the residents of Braj had such prem for Sri Krishna, which they did not even have for their own sons? Because in Brahma Vimohan Leela, this happened. Oh, Brahmaji was somewhat curious. He was wondering, who is Krishna? Is Krishna some Deva who has come with such powers? Or is he an incarnation of Bhagavan Vishnu? But Brahmaji was very somewhat confused, because if Bhagavan Vishnu avatar comes, he shows such great opulence. But Krishna is running around barefoot. Krishna is playing with his friends on the bank of the Yamuna River. His friends are saying, oh Krishna, you cheated, I am going to go and get you in trouble with Yashoda Maya. And then they go to Yashoda Maya and they say, oh Yashoda auntie, Krishna has eaten dirt. And then Yashoda immediately comes there and she is ready to chastise Krishna. Oh Krishna, what you have done? You are eating dirt. I have been told, I have the report. I am giving you nice rasgulla and sandesh and so many nice sweets. How dare you go and eat dirt? And Krishna looks at Yashoda Maya with very innocent, wide eyes, and he says, Maya, I have not eaten any dirt. If you don't believe me, these boys, they are lying to get me in trouble. So you can yourself look inside my mouth and see. And then Yashoda Maya looks in Krishna's mouth to see, and she sees in there the entire universe, and then she sees within the universe there is the earth, and on the earth there is Vraj, and within Vraj, now she has zoomed in and she can see there is the Yamuna river, and she is herself looking in the mouth of Sri Krishna. But then Mother Yashoda was becoming somewhat bewildered, so Sri Krishna stopped manifesting this vision. Because he was conquered by the love of Yashoda Maya. You know, we sing this Damodarashtakam, that, Krishna is conquered and overwhelmed by pure love of Brajavasis. So, when Brahmaji kidnapped the cows, the calves, and the cowherd boys, it is said that he could not actually touch them, but he took a copy, like a copy was made by Yogamaya, because he could not touch these parikars. And he hid these copies in a cave. And real parikars became invisible, and Krishna manifested himself as all the calves and all the cowherd boys. And when Krishna, as all of the cowherd boys, went back, suddenly all of the parents, all of the elderly gopas and gopis, they felt so much love for their own children that they never felt before. They could not understand why, but they were overflowing with love. And even the calves, when the calves went to meet the cows came running to meet the calves, and they were galloping with two of their legs in the air, all their legs in the air at the same time, and their udders were overflowing with milk. How much affection, because Krishna himself had manifest as all of the cowherd boys and calves. And so this led to this question by Maharaj Parikshit: how is it that these residents had such prem for Krishna? And so Sri Shukadev Goswami said that, well, normally we only hold ourselves very dear, and we have our objects of affection which are dear in a secondary way, and only because of fondness for the Atma. This is a very important point. Nowadays, people are not even able to keep dear family members together. It is the nature of Kali Yuga. It is so hard to live and survive in this day and age. People keep cats and dogs because it is easier to keep cats and dogs, and then they have affection. Why does someone have affection for their cat or their dog? Because the Atma is also there. And the cat or the dog is not going to go away, although that happens too sometimes, but they will keep the cat, dog, and they will be able to give affection, and cat, dog has so much affection for me as long as I'm feeding it, but I'm going to ignore that part. But this is the problem. We have accepted a material body. We are identifying with material body, and we have affection for our own selves. So we are actually most attached to our own self, and any sense of happiness is only due to the Atma. So the conclusion is that Krishna should be understood to be the original self of all living entities. And when he appears in this world, it is for the benefit of everyone. This entire universe is the external form of Krishna. Krishna is the root cause of everything, and there is nothing that is not related to him. This is the explanation that is given by Sri Shukadev Goswami. So Ananda is the form of Brahma. So Brahman is the subject of Upanishads. Yatadvaitam Brahmopanishaditarapyasyatanu. That which is described in the Upanishads as Brahman, this is nothing but the effulgence of his personal form. So Ananda is the form of Brahman. And on the basis of all of the evidence from Shruti, Sri Krishna is understood to be the form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, or Satchidananda Vigraha. So now this has been giving the meaning of Satchidananda Vigraha. And Sri Krishna has no difference between his form and his self. Vigraha is Atma, and Atma is Vigraha. We have difference between our form and ourselves. And of course, we want to make the illusion of making our form look very nice. So we will put on makeup, we will dress nicely, we will try to lose weight, we will work out at the gym so we can show big muscles and be very attractive to others. But this is all an illusion. It is all temporary. But in Sri Krishna's case, Sri Krishna is actually the form of Sat Chit Ananda. There is nothing illusory. And Sri Krishna is performing human-like activities. These human-like activities are called Madhuryamayi Lila. So these are pastimes which are full of sweetness. And he is manifesting these very sweet pastimes in this world out of compassion for the living entities, because we are attracted to sweetness. We are attracted to love. It is the Atma which is attracted to love. We want to love and be loved. But in this material world, we do not find true love and happiness. We will be attracted to someone. Oh, I am attracted to this boy or this girl. I am attracted to this person. Or I am even attracted to my dog and cat. But it will ultimately not give us satisfaction. Oh, we will have some happiness because if other person that I am giving my affection to is happy, then I am happy. But it must end. It must be affected by Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi and Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. To see the evil of birth, death, disease, and old age, this is a symptom of knowledge, according to Bhagavad Gita. But Sri Krishna has manifested such sweet pastimes, like mother of Pandavas, Kunti, has said, Gopiya dade tvai kritaga siddhamatavad yate dashashruka lilanjana sambhramaksham vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanayastitasya yan mam vimohayati bhirapi yadbhibeti. O Krishna, when you were a child, you performed some naughty activity, and Yashoda Maya was chasing after you with a stick to punish you. You were crying in fear and rubbing your eyes, and your tears were smearing your kajal, and your face was showing fear as you ran from Mother Yashoda. You, who are yourself feared by fear personified, were fearful of Mother Yashoda. May I always be enchanted with this thought of you in your beautiful child form. So, this is the Madhuryamayi Leela, when Krishna is doing this human-like Leela. And so this led to Brahmaji's bewilderment. How is it that if Krishna is Bhagavan, is he an incarnation of Mahavishnu? But where is the Aishwarya? He is running barefoot and he is tending cows. And he is doing naughty activities. He is stealing butter from the houses of gopis. So, what is this? What is the meaning of this? So this is all how Srila Jiva Goswami has taken these concepts, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, and he has broken it all down on the basis of Shastra and logic. Now pastimes are of two types. There is Aishwarya Pura Lila. There are pastimes which are related to transcendental opulence. These are the pastimes which are manifested sometimes in Mathura, sometimes in Dwarka. For example, once Brahmaji went to see Sri Krishna in Dwarka. So Brahmaji announced himself to Krishna's doorkeeper. He said, please, I would like to see Krishna. And doorkeeper went and said, I will announce. I will be right back. He told Krishna, Brahmaji is here. Krishna said, please ask him which Brahmaji. And so the doorkeeper came back and said, oh sir, Krishna is asking, which Brahmaji are you? Brahmaji was a little puzzled. He said, I am the four-headed Brahma, who is the creator of this universe and the father of the four Kumaras. So doorkeeper went back and then he said, okay, now you come. And Brahmaji came and he bowed down in front of Dwarkadish Krishna and he said, oh, Krishna said, Brahmaji, I am very happy to see you. Please tell me, how is everything going on? How are all the affairs of the universe? Are the asuras being kept in check and are everything as well with devas? Brahmaji said, oh, Prabhu, by your grace, everything is going on very nicely. But I have one question. Your doorkeeper asked, "Which Brahma? Are there more than one Brahma?" Then Krishna smiled and he meditated for a moment. Immediately that room was filled with Brahmas. Some had 10 heads, some had 100 heads, some had 10,000 heads, some had 100,000 heads, some had 10 million heads. And they all were bowing down at the same time, and the sound of their helmets touching the floor was such a loud clattering. Not only that, there were Shivas who had 5 heads, who had 10 heads, who had 100 heads, 10 million heads, and also Indras. And they were all in the same room at the same time. Because Sri Krishna is the master of all time and space. So one cannot think of the transcendental topics and activities of Aishwarya Maya Leela on the basis of our own very limited view of space-time, what we are given access to. This is Aishwarya Maya Leela. And then he is called Yadavendra or Vishnindra. But when he is in his infanthood, childhood, and adolescence in Braj, then he is called Brajendra Nandan or Govinda. So there is also this verse spoken by Sutta Goswami. Sri Krishna Krishna Saka Vrishnilash Bhavani Drug Rajanyavamshatahana Pavalagavirya Govinda Gopavanita Vrajabhritti Gita Tirtha Shrava Shravana Mangala Pahi Bhrityan. It is actually very similar to one of the prayers of Queen Kunti. O Krishna, you are the destroyer of those who are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorates. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and your most sacred glories, which are sung by the cowherd men and women and their servants of Vrindavan, bestow all auspiciousness just by being heard. O Lord, please protect your devotees. This is in the closing chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, asking benediction upon devotees. So, Sri Sutta Goswami has introduced his worshipable deity, Sri Krishna, as the friend of Arjuna. And this indicates Krishna's intense affection for the Pandavas. And Krishna felt subordinate to the Pandavas. He felt indebted by their very great affection. This is also described in Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And then Krishna had even more affection for the Yadavas and Vrishnis. So Krishna not only destroyed the kings who were oppressing the earth, but he also protected the Pandavas and Yadavas and maintained them in every respect. And then Sri Sutta Goswami is saying, you have even more affection for the Brajavasis than for the Yadavas, and amongst the residents of Braja, you have shown the most affection of all for the Braja Gopis. And when your dear devotee Uddhava came to Braj, he repeatedly offered prayers to the dust of the lotus feet of the gopis. Also, in the 87th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the personified Vedas are saying, Nibrita maron manoksha yoga yojo hridayan munaya upasate tararayo piyayo smaranat Sriya Uragendra Bhoga Bojadanda Vishaktadiyo Vayamapite Samasamadrishongri Saroja Sudha. Oh, you know, there are great sages, mystics, yogis who perform very, very hard austerities, and they forcibly subdue their mind, intelligence, senses, and life airs into submission so that they can achieve Sayuja Mukti, which is the destination of the Asuras, demons who are slain by the hand of Sri Krishna. On the other hand, the cowherd damsels of Braja, where their minds and hearts were always filled with thoughts of being embraced by the beautiful arms of Sri Krishna, which are shaped like the bodies of the kings of serpents. We wish to become particles of dust on the lotus feet of those gopis. And these are the personified Vedas who also came as Shrutichari gopis in Brajalila. So, Sri Brahma considers that the form of Bhagavan most desirable is his own worshipable deity, Govinda. And later, Sri Brahmaji begins to offer these prayers in this same chapter of Brahma Samhita, beginning with Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhira vipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra shata sambrahma sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. And there is also the reference to when Surabhi cow, after the pastime of Indra Puja and Govardhan, when Krishna lifted Govardhan with the little finger of his left hand, like a child lifting a mushroom as an umbrella. And there is also a deeper meaning to this Govardhan Leela, but Surabhi then offered prayers and gave him the name Tvam na Indro Jagatpate, O indwelling soul of the universe, O creator, O infallible Achyuta, O Sri Krishna, master of the universe, you are our only worshipable deity. You are the real Indra, because you are the maintainer of cows, Brahmins, saintly persons, and demigods. O soul of the universe, you have descended to the surface of the earth planet to remove her burden. The father of the worlds, Brahmaji, has engaged us in performing your Abhishek because you are worshipable for all. And so Surabhi performed the Abhishek of Sri Krishna, bathing him with her own milk. And Indra and the sages offered the pure waters of Mandakini Ganga, which had been brought in the trunk of Indra's elephant Airavat. And so the name was given Govinda. Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. So Sri Krishna is the master of the cows, and this is also the meaning of Govinda. And in Gopal Tapani Upanishad, then the sages headed by Sanaka have also prayed to Govinda. Govindam Satchidananda Vigraham Surabhuruhatalasinam Satatam Samarudganoham Toshayami. Along with demigods headed by Indra, I offer praise to Vasudev, who is eternally ornamented with pure transcendental qualities and pastimes. Although he is the supreme truth, one without a second, he is also the embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. So, I think we will end there. If there's any questions in chat, you can put them in there. I think everyone should have, everyone who has joined the Zoom meeting should have access to chat, and you should be able to put questions. Otherwise, we'll end there, and there is just so much of Sri Krishna Tattva. I think we will have to have one more week just to finish with this first verse of Sri Brahma Samhita.
Prabhu, I have one question. I'm just trying to pull up the quote.
I'm sorry, there was a question?
Yeah, I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. I just was pulling up the quote so I have it right.
You can go ahead and say the question.
Oh, okay. So on page 18, it says, he is therefore called the form of knowledge, which means that he is self-manifest. I didn't fully grasp how self-manifest meant knowledge.
Acha. So in translating the Tika, there are also sometimes nyaya or logical arguments which are in place. So yes, yamevaisha vnutetena labhyas tasyaisha atma vnutetenum swam. So he is called the form of knowledge, and he is self-manifest. So this is simply saying that, so think of knowledge. How do you know something? Let's say that I want to understand how a car works. I will understand something of combustion chemistry. I will understand something of mechanics, how an internal combustion engine operates. I will understand something of hydraulics, how the brakes operate. I will understand how the steering works and all of the different components for controlling the car. When I put all of that knowledge together, I have understood how the car works. You cannot understand Krishna that way. Krishna is the complete whole. He is Purna Tattva. And you cannot understand one part of Krishna and another part of Krishna like you would understand a car. You can only understand by his revealing himself within the heart of the devotee. So Krishna's original form is called Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and he is called self-manifest because he is not knowable by anyone else, and so he is Chit Swarup. It is a very, it is not an easy thing to explain, but you can take it as this. You can take it as, because Krishna is the original form of knowledge, and he is throughout, he is only knowable by his own revelation within the heart of the devotee, and so it can be said that he is self-manifest. Okay? So this is not giving a because of therefore relationship, it is giving a correlation explanation. But the problem is that in Sanskrit it is fairly straightforward. In English it is a little hard to describe succinctly. Does that make sense? So it is not a causal relationship, because he is called the form of knowledge and therefore he is self-manifest. It is not a causal relationship. It is a correlation. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sorry, I've been giving a thumbs up, but yes, that.
All right. Yes. All right. So we can end there, and Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.